friends, it's Deanna Willison with Our Blooming Catholic Life, and today we're literally blooming. We have today a review of the Granny Square Flowers card deck, 50 mix and match designs. They had a Granny Square deck before this that included some flowers. I saw that one in the store, but this is all flowers. It's a nice little box, right? A nice size. There's my hand. It's a nice, decent size. It tells you on the back the ultimate crochet design tool for limitless successful color combinations. 50 gorgeous floral Granny Square cards. Lay them out, mix them up, create your own design. Each card is a photo of a Granny Square flower on the front and back on the front with its stitch chart on the back. It also contains the essential guide to reading stitch charts, working with 3D motifs, color matching, and joining. It is by Claire Montgomery, and you can find it at www.searchpress.com. It runs about $15 in the UK, $20 in the US, $24 in Canada. I found this at my local Michael's craft store. So inside the box, this is a nice sturdy box to keep these in. We have our little guide as promised. This is a little guide, right? But it's 32 pages. There's quite a lot in there. It tells you it was first published in 2025, Search Press Limited, and they are located in Kent. I'm feeling like that. When I first looked, I thought it was in Tennessee, but I'm thinking that's in England. All rights reserved. No parts of this card deck, text, charts, or images may be produced except for reviews. Printed in China. There is a downloadable ebook of all the written patterns using both US and UK terminology that can be published online. It is an ebook. The publishers and authors. Yeah. There could be mistakes. I'm going to hold it up because it has several like Instagram and websites here. It tells you up here where you can get the ebook. You may want that, so pause the screen and look at that. The introduction. It does tell you here, welcome to the Granny Squares Flower Card Deck, the follow-up to the best-selling phenomenon, the Granny Square Card Deck. Within this card deck, you'll find 50 Granny Square designs to choose from on the front of each card, and I'll hold one up here so you can see what I'm saying. On the front of each card, you'll find the photo of a finished Granny Square, while on the back, you will find... Let me see if I can do that. The color-coded key to it. It's very lovely. It includes, on the side here, we have the number and the name of it. Then we have special stitches and how to join it. It gives you page numbers referring you back to the book. This little book here for those special stitches mentioned. This one has a 3 triple cluster, and it gives you the abbreviation for it, the 2 triple cluster, and gives you the abbreviation and gives you the joining. I'm going to go ahead and take a risk here and show you this one. What I love about this too is the whole thing's here. You can see you're going to chain 4 to start. There's your dot telling you where the round starts, or I guess where it ends. 1, 2, 3, 4 little chains. And then to start the next one, we're going to say it's round 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see there's 4 loops, and then a double crochet, and then a chain 1, double crochet, double. And if you're in England, you're thinking, what? She just said that wrong. But I just want you to notice right now how the starting 4 chains are worked the same color as round 1. You can see here's where round 2 starts, and here's round 3. The dot tells you where to end them. Now there's that. Again, it tells you the name of the special stitch written out, as well as the abbreviation and what page to find those directions on, how you can join it, and it tells you pages 4 and 5 will give you a symbol key. So when we go to pages 4 and 5 of the user guide, it gives us a key. So you know I just said that the symbol that we found on round 1, the main symbol, the T with a line through it, was a double crochet. Now, if you were in the UK, that symbol means what? In the UK, that is a treble crochet. So that's the great thing about the symbols, is whether you're using US or UK terminology, you can find hints here in the key. It gives you both. So that's why the pictures are super helpful and this one. And the book was saying you could actually get out your cards and lay them out. Well, that's a little tricky because they aren't probably the colors you're going to do, and you may have more than one square. If you were doing a sampler, sure, you could lay these out. But let's put them back for a moment. Well, let's just show you that. My first one I did a little differently. I used different colors. Haven't sewn all my ends in, so apologies here. You can see how I did the same thing, but different. And I ended up with a big square in the middle, right? And they ended up pulling theirs really tight. This makes it look like more like they started with a magic loop kind of thing than the chain 4, doesn't it? Whatever. Not judging. I just feel a little misled there. Now, I used a really soft yarn. This is a Dark Horse Fantasy yarn. I'm not even sure if they make it anymore. It was in some scraps. I had some leftovers from my favorite yarn shop that is no longer. So I had just a couple colors, and I thought I could try these out with it. Very Maryland colors using the red and yellow. I will show you here. Card 2. Which you can again see looks very different, right? And 3 even differenter still. I was really having some fun mixing and matching these colors. This is one of my favorites here. This is the last one. I didn't get completely done with it, but again, we'll show you why I did that in a minute. Sorry, I dropped the book. What else is in the book? So we have the introduction about the squares. So about the squares gives you the finished size is about 4 inches or 10 centimeters square. The hook used, I used the G6 4.25 millimeter, which in the UK would be a size 8. They said to use, they said to use a G/6, a UK 8, and they had it at a 4 millimeter. Mine was a 4.25 millimeter. Interesting. The yarn weight did say light worsted, 8 ply, DK, weight 3, which is why I used the Dark Horse Fantasy. It was a little bit lighter than my standard yarn. It does give you a number of substitutions that you could use. They used Sheepy's Merino Soft Light Worsted, 115 yards as a microfiber wool acrylic, and it even gives you the numbers of all the shades, which is really nice. So if you want to make them exactly, you can. Again, then we had the stitch chart symbols, including those for basic stitches, back loop only, front loop only, clusters, increases and decreases, and then 6 and 7 are special stitches. 6, 7, and 8 are special stitches. 8 is reading the chart, and I already kind of went through that with you. So go ahead and skip, and then it tells you starting. Okay, and it does work you through like how you would read this chart. This chart 1 here, it's giving you chart 1 and working you through step by step how to get through it. So that goes on. It goes the entire way through that card. Then it tells you page 14, we discuss working over and under existing stitches. Then it talks about the forget-me-not chart. Then using segmented charts. So what if you only have a piece of it for the chart? How to work 3D flowers. Working a granny background chart. So this design could form the background of any of the 3D flower motifs, but also you could use it as a blank square anywhere in your blanket, so it gives you that as well. That one gives you the black circle, and it says it represents the first round of the flower you have already made. So you would make a flower and then attach it. There's also a, did I speak wrong? I said the solid granny background chart. It does look a little different than that other one, so it gives you that on page 18 as well. Joining your squares begins on page 19. You have method 1, which is the slip stitch join. 2 is join as you go, which includes another whole page on 2 pages on how to. Color construction. It talks about proportions of colors, like freely pick up whatever color you fancy as you go. 2, select a few colors to use less frequently. For example, Use mainly a subdued palette, but a few pops of brighter color tones, perhaps in the smaller center rounds. Or 3, use whatever color palette you like, but achieve harmony by making every last round of each block the same color and then join them with a neutral tone. Granny square arrangement tips are on page 25. Page 24 is giving you a nice picture of a blanket to give you an example. See the many raised ones here. There's another one over there. Written patterns, it does give you for number 36, the daffodil, which is a 3D motif. The tea rose is in the book, as well as the cornflower on page 49, and we have already looked at the credits. Now, one of the reasons I chose this, you know, my friend group has been doing a random acts of kindness project, and we were doing the worry worms. Now, one of the things we did with the worry worms was we included with them, we put them in a Ziploc bag with a little poem about how it's a little friend to help you with your worries, that you can carry it around kind of thing. There's tons of poems for worry worms. You can search for them online. And I thought this is a fun idea. I know right now there are these little demon dolls that are really popular. But little backpack clip-on things have been popular for a while. So I was thinking, as a secular Franciscan, this could be something to hand out at a festival. We were asked to start working tables at festivals more often, at church festivals. And so I got these. These ones are called snake keychain. Okay, well, that's awkward. That's called a snake keychain. I'll show you what it looks like. It's just called a snake because of this little wiggly part here. And so you could sew one of these motifs on easily to that. And then people have this clip. Now I'm being stupid. I just had to how to open it. Can you see? Open it here. You lift that up. And when I lifted that up, it opened it all up. Ta-da! And it came off. So this is the mechanism here. So this is a loop. It gets hooked on there. And once it's hooked on there, you kind of have to hold it in place for a second. So you can hook it onto your backpack using that. So it's a little piece that pulls up over here, but it unlocks it over here. Woof! Okay, and you can put it on your backpack. And again, it's sewn onto the flower. So the thought being, we could give them this little guy here. Or if you didn't like it with the background, you can do it without doing that last round. You could stop at any round, so you can make them the size that you want. And I did get a plastic version of this as well. See if I can do this. It says to cut it open. I did not realize that. Thought it was going to be a rip open. Let's see if I can get this quick. These are little plastic ones. Again, I got these at Michael's, which is just my local craft store. I'm sure your local craft store, probably in the jewelry section, is going to have something like this. These ones are a little bit easier and they're a little bit more kid-friendly. So this is all it is. You would sew it on to your flower here, and see it's just this little bit here. And they came in quite a variety of colors. You could almost, even if you don't want to sew it on, you could just clip it, and then they clip it on the same way onto the backpack. But the thought being, instead of putting a little poem in the bag with these when we give them away, it could be a little quote from the Little Flowers of St. Francis. And the quote, I had one that works, turn this, was about St. Francis. So you would, says the sentence starts with he, so you would say, St. Francis of Assisi preached with such fervor that the inhabitants of the town wished to follow him out of devotion. But St. Francis would not allow them, saying, Be not in such haste, and leave not your homes. I will tell you what you must do to save your souls. Thereupon he founded the third order for the salvation of all, and leaving them much consoled and well disposed to do penance, he departed thence, and reached a spot between Canaio and Bavagno. So I would just take off that and reach the spot. And he departed thence. So let me read it again. St. Francis of Assisi preached with such fervor that the inhabitants of the town wished to follow him out of devotion. But St. Francis would not allow them, saying, Be not in such haste, and leave not your homes. I will tell you what you must do to save your souls. Thereupon he founded the third order for the salvation of all, and leaving them much consoled and well disposed to do penance, he departed thence and reached a spot. He departed thence. And then I would include the link both to the Little Flowers of St. Francis as an online document or as a purchase in your local shop if you have one local, and a link to whatever, either if your secular Franciscan fraternity has a website, I would link it there, or your national or regional chapters, whatever you'd like, have those links all on the card, and then the person would have this little memento, which is going to attract people over to your table to start with, and then there'll be that little note letting them know that they are more than welcome to join. You could even include the date and time and place of your next meeting, whatever you'd like to include. You could just have the little flower and then have inside it one of your little newsletters. I thought the little thing being just a little bit with the web links for more information is a wiser way to go, but you would judge your audience. I think sometimes some newsletters are only a page, but they can be, they really should be limited to 4 pages, but they can get pretty long. So I don't know that I'd include a long one, but if it's a long one, you could lay them out on the table as well, and then people could grab those if they wanted, and you probably have some kind of trifold brochure you could leave out. But even if you're not a secular Franciscan or not using this as the little flowers of St. Francis, the little flowers are just cute little stories of St. Francis. Some of them are edifying, and some of them are just kind of fun. Some of them are a little funny. And you could just have these, you could just give these out as a random acts of kindness. You could make them into a lovely blanket as well. You can make them into a blanket to give to some of your fraternity members who are excused or in nursing homes as a remembrance of their Franciscan brothers and sisters. We'll have to see if we can figure out how to make a towel square as well. That would be really lovely. You could probably make one with different things for the Canticle of the Sun, different imagery of the Canticle of the Sun in it. Again, that would be really fun to give also to members, fraternity members, when they have little ones. You could use it for quite a variety of purposes. So it's just a fun idea how to mesh craft and beauty and your talents along with letting people know about the secular Franciscan order. But this is also really a review of the Granny Square Flowers card deck. This was part of my inspiration, but I got it because of the little flowers of St. Francis, so I could not help but mention that to you. And even if it's just the flowers that somebody's clipping on their backpack or the coat, it can bring people so much joy in beauty, and that's lovely as well. Okay, friends, that's all. God bless you. God bless us all. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.